In this video, I am telling you if Bakuchiol works for anti-aging. Yes, I Googled this and listened to the pronunciation and a lot of sound bites. And yes, that is how you say it. It's Bakuchiol. So, have you heard of Bakuchiol? It is the trendy and natural alternative to retinol that is popping up everywhere in the last few years. And here's a fun fact. More than 290 brands launched commercial products containing Bakuchiol since 2016. That is insane. So here are a couple of claims that you might have heard about the ingredient and the marketing around Bakuchiol. It's been dubbed the natural alternative to retinol. It gives you the retinol-like results without those irritating side effects. And it's reportedly safe during pregnancy and breastfeeding. If something sounds too good to be true, it's worth doing a deep dive on this topic, which is exactly what I did for you. I am going to talk you through all of these claims. I'm going to show you the proof and introduce you to my top skincare products that have Bakuchiol in them. I'm Dr. Maren Locke, known here on YouTube as the Budget Dermatologist, where I make skincare simple and I make healthy skin attainable for you. So hit subscribe and come say hi on Instagram at the Budget Dermatologist. Now let's dive into all of this and tell me at the end of this video, are you going to try Bakuchiol in your skincare routine? I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. So what exactly is Bakuchiol? Like, what even is that word? Bakuchiol is a compound that is extracted from the seeds and leaves of the bapchi plant that grows mostly in India and Sri Lanka. Now, the whole plant has been used in ancient Indian, Ayurvedic, and traditional Chinese medicines to treat many different diseases, including skin disorders like psoriasis, eczema, and even vitiligo. Now, other parts of this plant are even used to treat ailments of the heart, the bones, and cancer in some parts of the world. Now, Bakuchiol is actually just one single compound from the seed of this plant that can be extracted with up to 99% purity, and that is what makes it safe to use in skincare products. But here is an important distinction. Really listen to this part here. It is specifically only the Bakuchiol compound that is safe in skincare products. The actual whole plant, or bapchi oil, or Bakuchi oil, or parts of the Soralia oil from the plant are unrefined portions of this plant that can contain psoralins or photosensitizers, and these can be really dangerous for the skin. So check your product of interest and look for the word Bakuchiol on the ingredients list, not some other form. So this particular Bakuchiol compound was first isolated in the 1960s, but it was not until 2007 that it was first put into a topical product for commercial use. But even then, its rise to popularity has been slow because there were not many scientific studies done to show its effectiveness or safety to use on the skin. But then, in 2014, the International Journal of Cosmetic Science published research that showed Bakuchiol has retinoid-like functionality, which produces similar anti-aging effects as retinol. This conclusion was based on the findings that Bakuchiol worked on the same gene expression pathways as retinol, even though they are structurally different compounds. And then, in 2018, the game changer happened. A landmark study out of California put Bakuchiol up against retinol in a head-to-head experiment with 44 volunteers. This study showed similar improvements in photoaging in both test groups, but with less side effects in the Bakuchiol group. This was published in the British Journal of Dermatology, then the media craze followed, and Bakuchiol was named one of the trendiest ingredients. And then suddenly every brand scurried to make a Bakuchiol product, and that is probably about when you first ever heard of this ingredient. Now, since I keep mentioning that Bakuchiol is an alternative to retinol, let's have a quick refresher of retinoids in general. If you want to learn more about retinoids, which you probably should because it's my favorite skincare ingredient. I have a lot of other videos on my channel that talk about retinoids. I think you will find these very helpful, so I am going to link those videos in the description below. So very quickly, retinoid is an umbrella term that consists of vitamin A-based derivatives. I'm talking about tretinoin, retinaldehyde, and retinol, to name a few. These are used to treat a variety of skin conditions like signs of aging, fine lines and wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, uneven skin texture, and even acne. Retinoids are the gold standard in the skincare industry for anti-aging and the gold standard for first-line treatment of acne because there is a ton of proven science backing up this skincare ingredient. But the major drawback to retinoids are the potential for these side effects like dry and flaky skin, irritation, redness, and just an increase in sensitivity to the sun. They are also notoriously not very stable and difficult to formulate in skincare products. Medical professionals will also advise against the use of topical retinoids during pregnancy and breastfeeding due to a lack of safety data in these populations. So, back to the research studies on Bakuchiol. Let's look a little more critically at exactly what benefits Bakuchiol is known to have. Number one, it helps our skin produce more collagen. In this study, Bakuchiol was shown to increase types 1, 3, and 4 collagen in human skin cells. This study was performed in vitro, meaning in the lab, as well as in vivo, meaning on actual human patients. The group of patients used a Bakuchiol cream for 12 weeks. They found statistically significant improvement in fine lines, wrinkles, and pigmentation. They found improvements in elasticity, firmness, and overall a reduction in photo damage on the skin was observed without the usual retinol therapy associated undesirable effects. So this is very good news. But in my opinion, the problem with this study is that it was a very small sample size of patients and it really needs to be repeated probably multiple times in a double-blinded, placebo-controlled setting. But nevertheless, these are very promising results. When we increase collagen in the skin, we look younger. Number two, Bakuchiol reduces inflammation and pigmentation in the skin. This study here shows that Bakuchiol users had statistically significant improvement in hyperpigmentation after just 12 weeks of use. And additionally, other studies also demonstrate the inhibition of melanin production, which is what creates those dark spots on our skin, which suggests that Bakuchiol has similar results as ingredients like arbutin when it comes to fading pigmentation in the skin. Number three, it has antibacterial properties, which means that it can help improve acne by killing the acne-causing bacteria. Several studies have demonstrated this. And number four, it is a natural antioxidant. We always are looking for antioxidants in our skincare, so this is good news. Bakuchiol can help protect our skin's surface from damage that's caused by free radicals and UV light. This is similar to things like vitamin E, and some studies even suggest that Bakuchiol is more effective than vitamin E. So now for the most important question. Which is better for anti-aging, Bakuchiol or retinol? Let's look at the studies that compared these head to head. Here are the details of that landmark 2018 study. Over 12 weeks, they took 44 participants and applied either Bakuchiol 0.5% cream twice a day, or they applied retinol 0.5% once a day. Now note, the retinol was only applied once a day because it's unstable in light, which means you probably should not apply it in the morning time because it can break down in UV light. And applying retinol more than once a day is not recommended because you will probably be limited by side effects like a retinoid dermatitis, which will outweigh the benefit. So back to the study, they compared the participants at the beginning of the study and then again at week 12. The researchers discovered that Bakuchiol and retinol users both had significantly decreased wrinkle surface area and hyperpigmentation. But those who used retinol had more side effects like stinging, dry skin, and peeling of the skin compared to those that used Bakuchiol in this study. At the end of the study period, about 20% of the participants who used retinol experienced scaling, while only about 8% of Bakuchiol users reported the same side effect. Therefore, according to this study at least, Bakuchiol is considered a more gentle and tolerable form of retinol while being comparable when it comes to anti-aging. There's also another study where researchers found that Bakuchiol was actually better than retinol at slowing down the two enzymes which break down the skin's collagen and elastic fibers. And here's a Bakuchiol bonus for you. In that very same study, Bakuchiol was found to enhance anti-acne properties and help fade hyperpigmentation, so just more support there to just how beneficial this Bakuchiol ingredient can be. So what is my professional opinion of Bakuchiol? Well, I have a lot of opinions. Are you surprised? Number one, I believe Bakuchiol works. Number two, I believe it does have less side effects than retinoids, perhaps because it has a different structure than vitamin A, which is what retinoids are, and it likely does not act on the oil glands in the same way as retinoids, which can be drying to the skin. Number three, I have reservations about saying that it is as effective as retinol for anti-aging, and definitely reservations about saying it is as effective for acne. I hope it is, but we do not have the quality or quantity of data on Bakuchiol like we do for retinoid derivatives, which have been used way more extensively for many more years and are much more heavily researched. I think that we understand retinoids better than we do Bakuchiol. And opinion number four, I think it's an amazing ingredient to try, especially if you fall into one of these categories. You should try Bakuchiol if you have tried and failed retinoids due to side effects. Try Bakuchiol, as there is a great chance that you will tolerate this way better. Or you have tried and failed retinoids in terms of results. Maybe it did not help your acne or your lines and pigmentation, and you want to try something different. Or you want to apply an anti-aging product during the day that is safe in the sun and will not break down in the UV light. Or you want to double down on your anti-aging efforts. You are using a retinol at night, and you want to also use something in the daytime to further its effects. You should try Bakuchiol if you are sensitive to the sun, or it's summertime, or you plan to be outdoors a lot and do not want the concern about burning more quickly. Or maybe you have crow's feet or signs of aging around that delicate eyelid skin, and you want to apply an anti-aging cream there. Well, retinols are not very good around the eyes because of the irritation unless it is formulated very gently in an eye cream, and even then, many people can have issues with them. So this Bakuchiol ingredient in an eye cream would be an amazing option for you to try, and I have a great one that I'm going to tell you about shortly. Or you should use Bakuchiol if you are pregnant or breastfeeding and your own doctor says it is okay for you to use. Keep in mind, testing of Bakuchiol in pregnant and breastfeeding women is not well studied. However, it does not come from vitamin A or have the same properties as retinol, which is why it is discussed as a potential pregnancy-safe alternative to retinol. And lastly, you should try Bakuchiol if you just want to try a fun and new promising product. Bakuchiol is generally tolerated by all skin types, so if you're ready to add this into your routine, I'm going to help you get started right now. Here are my tips for incorporating Bakuchiol into your skincare routine and my top Bakuchiol product recommendations. Tip number one, choose a leave-on product like a serum with Bakuchiol so it will have longer contact time with the skin. My personal way to bring this into my routine is with a serum before I put my moisturizer on top of it. I'm showing you my favorites in just a minute. Tip number two, you can use Bakuchiol in your morning routine, your nighttime routine, or both. So whatever works best for you, because it does not cause UV sensitivity like retinol, and it's actually photostable in UV light. And this is one of the biggest selling points to me for Bakuchiol. It is so versatile. Tip number 3, don't be afraid to pair your Bakuchiol with other skincare actives in your routine. It really plays nicely in the skincare sandbox, so to say. So I recommend a combination product with Bakuchiol, or you can pair it with the vitamin C, for example. But my caveat here is with topical acids. So using this at the same time can increase your risk of irritation, so just be cautious about that. Now, one question I'm always asked is, can I use Bakuchiol and retinol together? And my answer is yes. Studies show that Bakuchiol can actually stabilize retinol and help it work better. And you'll even see that some skincare products combine Bakuchiol and retinol in the same product, so you don't have to choose between them. I'm going to show you one of those in just a minute as well. And tip number 4, start slow and increase as tolerated. So even though Bakuchiol has a low risk of side effects, I recommend using it once or twice a week to make sure you tolerate it well before increasing to daily or even twice daily, depending on the product. And tip number 5, last tip, aim for a product with Bakuchiol content ranging from 0.5 to 2%. These levels are consistent with recommendations based on ultimate performance and safety. Now for the fun part, here are my top picks for a Bakuchiol skincare product. All of these will be linked in the description so that you can find the exact ones I am showing here. I'm giving you a top pick for the face, a top pick eye cream, and my favorite combination product, and I will leave you with my top budget pick. The first one is the Retinol Advanced Correcting Serum by Avène. This has a strong percentage of Bakuchiol at 1.5% in this product. And remember, most of the studies that showed improvement with Bakuchiol only used 0.5%. So this is really a much higher percentage than a lot of other products that I found on the market, which is why this one is my top choice. Avène is one of the best drugstore brands when it comes to ingredient lists. This product is fragrance-free like many of their products, and they also do this concept called sterile packaging so that they can avoid preservatives like parabens, and all of their products contain the Avène thermal water, which is packed with minerals, and it's better for your skin barrier. As you guys know, skincare products usually contain a large proportion of water, so if you don't think the quality of the water used is important, please reconsider that thought. So for maximal anti-aging, I use this in the morning, and I use the Avène 0.1 Intensive Retinol on my face at night. This is the biggest part of my skincare budget because it's the most important step, and I'm super picky about this step. You can check out my Avène shopping guide to learn more. I have a video on that, and check out my drugstore anti-aging routine to see me use these products. Now for my top pick for an eye cream. If you want an anti-aging eye cream and you haven't been able to tolerate one with a retinoid in it, there are other options like a gram-active retinoid product or a Bakuchiol product like this one by Tula. So choose this if you want to firm the skin around the eyes, strengthen that delicate skin, brighten the under eye, and depuff that area. This has Bakuchiol for anti-aging, peptides for firming, pre and probiotics for skin balance, and ceramides for skin barrier strengthening. So really there are 2 reasons to use an eye cream here. 1, you want to treat that skin, but you cannot tolerate your products for the face that close to the eye. Maybe they burn or sting or cause peeling of the skin, or they just seem too strong. You can try an eye cream instead, like this one, because they are usually formulated so that they are better tolerated by the sensitive and delicate skin in this area. Or 2, you want a different, thicker texture for the eye area compared to the rest of your face. Typically, these eye creams have a thicker, almost balm-like texture, which really feels super luxurious on that thin eyelid skin, but it's not really the texture that you want to put on your whole face. That thicker eye cream texture also helps seal in hydration of that area and keep the rest of your skincare products out to decrease irritation. So it just sets up this barrier, which can be really helpful in your skincare routine. So in that case, you could use 2 separate products. Now, all that to really say, do you need a separate eye cream? Yes and no, depending on if you fall into one of those categories. Now, this product is really a wonderful texture. It is just thick enough to create about 24 hours worth of barrier hydration to the skin. I like to use this at night because of that nice texture, but you could certainly use this in the morning as well. Now, for my favorite combination product that combines both retinol and Bakuchiol in the same product, it's this one by Paula's Choice, 0.3% retinol plus 2% Bakuchiol treatment. This wears like a serum, so I will apply this first to my skin, then put a moisturizer on top. The Bakuchiol in this product will help stabilize the retinol. However, I would still opt to use this one at night rather than the daytime. So choose this product if you want to add Bakuchiol to your routine without replacing your retinol. This is a great all-in-one product. It also contains peptides for extra firming of the skin. So this is a really great option. And this one is a little bit more moderately priced. Now you can find a cheaper alternative to the Paula's Choice option, and it's by Versed. It's the Press Restart Gentle Retinol Serum. This one contains 0.03% retinol and 0.05% Bakuchiol. This is not my top choice because of that lower concentration of Bakuchiol, which falls below my 0.5% to 2% recommendation based on the literature. However, for the price, and if you are new to retinoids, this is actually a reasonable place to start. So my conclusion here, if you are willing to spend just a bit more, or you are an experienced retinol user, I say go for the Paula's Choice option due to their higher strength of ingredients. Now, I tested out another Bakuchiol product, which was really quite nice, but it didn't make my list here, and let me tell you why. It's the Biossance Squalane plus Phyto Retinol Serum. This is a sensorial experience, okay? If you really love a scented spa-like product, this was super elegant and nice, but it is pretty expensive, and it's actually about the same cost as the Avène Serum, which is my top choice that I mentioned earlier, and they both have a very similar feel. So if you compare these two side by side, the Avène product has a higher percentage of Bakuchiol at 1.5% versus the Biossance one that has 1% in it. Now they both contain niacinamide, they both contain hyaluronic acid, which are your important ingredients in these serums, but the Biossance one uses squalane and has several botanical oils in it, which account for its scented smell, I think. So I believe this is a possibly more irritating option. It has less Bakuchiol in it, so my top choice, again, I would go with this one. Now, did you know that the Inky List makes a Bakuchiol product? It made my list, and it is the most affordable one on this list today. This is actually a moisturizer with 1% Bakuchiol in it. So if you are looking for a new moisturizer, maybe with some nice anti-aging benefits, check this one out. If you've tried it, please share with us in the comments what you thought of it. Personally, I like to incorporate Bakuchiol as a serum here, not as a moisturizer. I find that moisturizers are really much harder to find the best one for your skin, so much personal preference there. So I have a few moisturizers I really love and stick to year round, and that is why I prefer to add Bakuchiol as a separate product in a serum. However, I think this one by the Inky List is absolutely a reasonable option if this is what suits your budget best. Now I'm going to leave you with a do not buy product, or at least one that you need to really think about and do your own research before you pay the money for this product. It is the Herbivore Bakuchiol Retinol Alternative Smoothing Serum. According to an independent study that measures the active percentages in skincare products, this one by Herbivore was found to have 0.000227% Bakuchiol in it, which is like nothing. So here are the other products they tested in the study. I'm going to show you the image here. The gray dot is how much is claimed to be in the product, and the pink dot is how much is actually in it by their measurement. You can see the Herbivore one at the end here with basically no Bakuchiol in it. Now, when you look on the ingredient list, Bakuchiol is not actually listed on this product, but rather the plant name is listed. So again, I mentioned this earlier, but check for the word Bakuchiol on the ingredients list and make sure that that name is specifically on the list. So based on what we have learned here, I would add Bakuchiol to my routine rather than replace retinol with this ingredient, unless you cannot use retinol or you cannot tolerate retinol. My goal, personally, is to supercharge my anti-aging results and preserve healthy skin. I have my Bakuchiol skincare routine linked in the description. Now it's your turn. Tell me, are you going to try Bakuchiol? Let's share our experiences in the comments below. And make sure you are subscribed to my channel for more skincare made simple content, and come say hi on Instagram at The Budget Dermatologist. I'll see you guys soon.